Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jim Horn Park here in Claremont. It's a breezy afternoon, but it is coming on to winter and it is football season, and it's Andrew Silver Fox Hopwood in the main commentary position. I'm joined by my co-commentator Martin Duffy. Duff, we have been looking forward to this very big clash, Claremont Bulldogs 14s versus Glenorchy Magpies.
Oh yeah, it should be a great clash out here, Hoppy. I'll tell you what, it's pretty cold out here today, very blustery, so it's going to be trying conditions for the teams, but we're out here and looking forward to the match. And there are the Claremont boys on the screen, and Andrew, here are your two teams right in front of us.
Yeah, they are. There's some very big names in that lineup that represent those clubs. You've got your Lockley, Jones, Goodsell, Curtin, Flack, of course, that's a name that's synonymous with your Bulldogs, Duff.
Yep. And
then your Taylor, Phillips, Croswell there. Got some big names. I think we're expecting pretty good things here today. Probably Claremont, the form team, Duff, and they're co-tenants. They're suburb versus suburb out here in the northern part of Hobart. And of course, we thank very much our very dear friends at Wombat Recycling, Duff, and aren't they a great Tasmanian company?
We'll come back to them in a moment.
We'll come back to them regularly, Hoppy. Don't you worry about that. As the Dogs go into the attack first, it's Brown who picks it up, goes back in towards the centre of the ground. Dare is there. Chipping in now is Burns Haywood. The hyphen just taps it out further afield. Well done by Maxie Jackson. He's first under the ball. As is always the case, they're just sort of feeling each other out in the under 14 division. You can see the variety in different sizes, Duff, as the different kiddies with that testosterone, and some of them grow, some of them don't at this particular age group. But it is the Dogs who stream off that half back line, go forward. It's going to be hard sometimes, I think, in relation to the kicking, Duff, isn't it, because of the blustery conditions?
Yeah, and it's, is it the full-size ball at this age group? I think it might be the smaller one, but I'll tell you what,
well, they've kicked that one a mile, and we'll have another look at that on the Mood Food replay. I think that might have been young Billy Phillips, who I mentioned earlier on, who has kicked that one almost from Bridgewater. That was a really nice kick, as we'll have another look at this. Picked it up. I like the way that Laycock just kept the ball moving. You can see here he is at just outside 50. He has kicked that downtown, aided with the breeze, right through. Excellent kick. Gee, that was a nice work by Billy Phillips.
Yeah.
And if we check the Jackson Motor Car Company scoreboard, Duff, it is. Just to have to change that one over. That is our Magpies, 1 goal straight 6 to Claremont yet to score.
Yeah, we'll just fix that up there. I think it is Glenorchy, isn't it? Sorry, viewers, a bit going on here at Duff TV, but back to the play here, Hoppy.
Yeah, it certainly was. Dogs have the ascendancy, maybe a slight push in the back. Looked like he might have thought that might have been the case. The umpire's on the blind side, so decided to play that one on. Glenorchy now just thrust it onto the boot. And I like that when, if you can't get the ball, just keep the ball going in your area, just as Billy Phillips did then. That's going right down to that danger zone. The Dogs are under a lot of pressure. Jackie Johnson picks that up, goes out wide. You can see from some of the gathering out in that outer side, Duff, they are really quite cool, as the Dogs kept it in, but only to the advantage of the Magpies as they swirl that one around. Going back there was Johnson again, ably assisted by Goodsell. Goodsell pushes towards the boundary line, and Blackwell sees that ball over.
Now, of course, Glenorchy won the under-14 grand final last year, under-14B, I think it was. Some of these boys maybe didn't play in that actual team, but some of them, I think, looking at the names, a couple are doubling up in this age group this year. So they're a very proud club out there at Glenorchy, Andrew.
Well, they're a very big club. I mean, football has been a big part, and it was great to see the big function the other night, the centenary.
Oh, 100 years of Glenorchy Magpies.
Yep, and some of the greats went back to the function. It was good there, Duff. I know you had a great night out there. So the ball on the half-forward flank. Doggies going back into centre that ball. That could be dangerous if the Magpies can come out and get it. It's not. Well done. No one to go to. Decides to go further afield was Lorga. Picked up by Glenorchy as they just give the aid of the breeze. They go back and kick it towards that open goal. It comes back out to Phillips again. Phillips jags that one. Now he's a goal kicker, and he has slotted that one for his second goal. He looks very accomplished player, Duff. He seems to have time. He's got the ball, Billy, and he slotted through for his second goal. I like the cut of his jib.
Yeah, no, very good player, Phillips. He's really taken advantage there. It was just a great smother, wasn't it, by young Blake Hassett. Then they got the ball down, and anywhere where it goes near Phillips, he's just very dangerous. And you're right, Andrew, just get the ball forward with this breeze. Phillips got on the end of it. Great goal.
Beautiful kicking style, Duff. Really low hands, and he just leant over the ball. When he kicked the ball, he just sort of leant forward, so he's keeping his eyes directly over where the ball comes down on the foot. So if you're watching out there, kiddies, just have a look at young Billy Phillips when he goes towards goal. So we're 4 minutes in, and just check the Jackson Motor Car Company scoreboard, Duff. It is 2 goals straight, 12 to your Magpies. A couple of forward thrusts, and they've got full value for it. Here come the Dogs now. Game back in. That's a really strong mark taken by Curtin. Curtin goes back towards the goal and put that one through. Gee whiz, what a high calibre of game, Duff.
Well, it's just a goal fest at the moment, isn't it?
Kyden Curtin, we're going to have a look on the Mood Food replay. Have a look at him coming out, taking a solid mark. He didn't muck around. And yet again, Maxie Jackson didn't quite guard the mark, and you're able to play on. I think that's one thing again, Duff, you can pick up that the kiddies have got to do. As soon as, if you don't have the onion, you've got to then get on the mark and stop the person from playing on.
And you're right, some high calibre football already by both teams. The wind has just dropped a little bit here. Tell you what, earlier on in that first under-11 game, Hoppy, I thought I was going to be blown down the Derwent River.
Yeah, no, it was breezy, Duff. I concur with what you said. It was well taken out of the centre by Dare for the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs will get a lot of confidence from that forward thrust. 3 shots on goal, and we've got 3 sausage rolls. So it's absolutely 100% accuracy by both teams at the early stages, at the 5.5 minute mark of the first quarter. Game of the round, it is Claremont Bulldogs under 14s versus the Glenorchy Magpies. Ethan Brown goes towards the ball and takes it out. And we've mentioned before, Duff, some of these houses really must have a premium value on the real estate, given they have their front yards have got a football field, so they can just sit out, have a cup of tea on their front deck and watch the football. Or how good would that be?
It's just like the cricket in England, isn't it? Outside, old Trent Bridge or somewhere. How'd you get? You
just go out, glass of wine, watch the footy, watch the cricket. Absolutely top shelf. Absolute premium in those houses. The Dogs go into it, Nut. You're seeing quality football as they go towards that open space. I like it when there's nothing on. Kick it to the open space to the advantage of the leading forward, Duff. That's a terrific play by the Dogs. Couldn't quite bring it in, so the umpire will throw it aloft.
Looks like umpire Donaghy out there today.
He's umpire Donaghy.
Which one's that? Is that Liam or TJ?
I'm going to go with... I'm going to be wrong, aren't I? We'll go TJ, will we?
I'm never sure. I've known them for about 6 years. They come up to you and say, "G'day, Duff," and I just look at them. I go, "Which one are you?"
All right, so that was a kick on goal, and for the first blemish has just pushed it to the right, Duff. So it's a minor score.
No, this is Liam, definitely.
Okay, umpire Donaghy. And we'll keep an eye on him because we know I've heard good reports about his umpiring prowess, Duff. He could go a long way in the caper.
Oh, well. Very, very clear with his communication. There's our mate Phillips, and you're right, he's very slippery. Got a lot of time about him. Great footballer, and that's a great kick to advantage.
All right, so now Barassi turns around. Can't find someone to go to. Long, raking kick. Have a look at the length of that one. The umpire might have seen there could have been pushed under the ball, and it's going to be a Bulldogs free kick. Let's have a look at this one, Duff. Maybe held before the ball came down. Kyan Berry just put the arm out, and a little bit ticky-touchwood as far as you're concerned, Duff.
Gee, I didn't really see much in that one, but the umpire was in the prime position there. Oh, great heavy work there by the Bulldogs, just clearing the ball back out to the wing area here, Hop.
Yeah, it certainly was. Well played by Lockley. Good hands below the knees. That's what we all look for. Coming out was Berry. Berry doesn't get the ball, and they are beset upon by a pack of Dogs as they come out to Robinson. Robinson handballs. Great teamwork to Lauder. Lauder goes to the kick, and he's just missed the old boot there, Duff.
Well, I think it was the wind, Andrew.
I think you're right. No doubt about that. As we'll have a look at that on the Mood Food replay, Duff. I think it was. It came there, was about to do the old ball drop, and that breeze has just caught it and taken it away from his boot.
Just needs to guide it down with the right hand today.
Very much so.
The wind is just picking up again here. It's going to cause havoc in this match.
Certainly is, as the Bulldogs threw a succession of handballs. And there was that breeze again. That was good pressure by the Magpies to force the error. But going back is Lockie Dare.
Oh, Dare. Lovely kick.
Good vision there, Duff.
Lovely kick against this breeze. Beautifully weighted ball, that one.
Here they go. Back in towards the danger. Oh, got the fingertips to it. Was the big man there in Graham and couldn't pull it in. Been tackled, and I think might have had Pryor, have we, Duff? It's going to be a ball up. No prior opportunity as we see here. Picked it up, and then really good tackling there by the Magpies.
Yep, good tackling by the little fella there for the Magpies.
So
good umpiring decision too, Andrew.
Yep, certainly was. That was Blackwell. Screws it over. Oh, Glenorchy, that's dangerous play, bringing it back into that area of uncertainty, and it's proved costly, but only for the minor score. When that ball's deep in the defensive area, Duff, and it's closer there, I'd think you always should play the safety of the boundary line.
Well, you've got to be careful now, though, because the umpire always plays deliberate.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that, Duff.
So it takes a lot of skill to try and get the ball out of the area, but not go across
just
that white line.
Have the bit of width, Duff, is probably what I maybe should have said. Absolutely don't go too far over, as umpire Donaghy is going to ball this one up. It's a wonder you haven't already started banging on about why we haven't got boundary umpires, Duff.
Oh, it'd be a wonderful innovation by the STJFL. Maybe they should get some funding for that, Andrew.
Oh,
hey, get them out here. Improve the experience of the boys.
Just had some of the mums or dads out. Probably be more to go, wouldn't it, Duff?
You're probably right, actually. A lot of people sitting around there in their cars, isn't there?
Just get out and run around. Anyway, Dogs over the ball. All played by Lockley. Goes back in to try and get it again. It was Alexander John Holbrook. Gee whiz, there's it. Look at this. Jude Alexander John Holbrook there, Duff.
Jeepers.
He's got every name known to man listed, I think, there. So, young Holly did a good job there, though, for the Dogs as the ball comes back in to a young man in Robinson. Robinson goes forward. Up they go again. That was Jai Graham, who almost got the Dukes. He's a formidable size, Duff. He's going to be a good target to go to. Now he's going to have to really show his prowess in the sprinting brigade. Glenorchy just go the soccer off the ground. No one can pick it up. Go back in and try and get Ben down and pick the onion up. At the moment, they're playing a bit of soccer.
Oh, jeepers.
They're just deciding to go the man first. They've got to get their eyes transfixed on the ball, Duff. Go the ball first.
Just like Lipley, he had nowhere to go there, Hoppy. There's one Magpie on 4 Bulldogs. Where were the Magpies? Did
a great job. I think that was young Belbin, wasn't it, Duff? And did a very, very good job. Goes up in the ruck there was Croswell. Ably helped by Connors. Connors goes back in towards Phillips. Phillips, we know, very silky skills, goes long back towards the goals. He knows where they are. It's bouncing, rolling towards the goals. They're going to be close as it might be touched just on the line. Oh. And certainly Phillips knows where those goals are. He's a dead-eye Dick Duff.
Tell you what, look at this.
He's kicked that from 70 metres. Rolling. Look at the last bounce. Up she goes and touched. One more roll forward and she was home and hosed. And well done by the Dogs' defence.
Yeah, it looked like a goal from here, Andrew.
Oh, turn it up, Duff. You're telling me you can see it from the Tony Gibson Tower.
I would give it just a goal for
on effort. The expanses of the Jim Horn Park.
I would give that a goal for effort.
Don't just reward people like that. Come on, Duff, you're better than that. But here we go, back live on that bottom corner. Just can't quite see the play here. There we go now. Now, I noticed another thing, Duff. Do you think young Grundy for Collingwood has got something to do with all these top buns, Duff?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Just get your hair cut. That's what I reckon. What do you reckon, Hop?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the old silver fox, how would a silver bun go, Duff?
Oh, gee.
I tell you what, I reckon that might be the new toot for the fox. But we'll wait on that one as we go back to Collings. He goes forward, playing a little bit wide. Trying to use the whole expanse of the Jim Horn Park in the early stages when they're defending. But here go Glenorchy. They want to go very direct. I'd like to see him bend down and pick the onion up.
Young Hassett again.
It is Hassett who really provided... I like the way he put a block on in those early stages. Just bend down and pick that ball up. The umpire says it's not going to come out, although it just came through. And it'll be... What's this one, Duff?
Good effort there by Hassett, wasn't it? Just a little fella, Hoppy. Look at this. No, we've got a ball up. But I just like the effort. You know, little fella trying his best up against the big fella there from the Bulldogs. Great strength.
What we like about this game, doesn't matter about your size, Duff. Just get in. And you can do something.
Show a bit of ticker.
Absolutely. As the Magpies go forward, and he goes as far as to true centre half back position. Gee whiz, a couple of boys. That was Brown.
Yep.
Now it's going forward again. Bulldogs down and bend over and pick it up. I like to see that. Gee, that was Silky Skills on the wrong side of the body. Comes further afield out towards Brown. They go back into the corridor. I think the umpire said, I think you've gone over the mark here, Duff. And it's going to be a 50-metre penalty. That's harsh, isn't it?
It is. What do you think about that?
But they're the rules. You just can't encroach. Oh, yes, he hadn't played on. So the umpire says you can't encroach that boy kicking the goal. So handballed out by Dare. Dare goes further afield to Collings. It was a throw, though. Good tackle by the Magpies, and they're doing a good job down back, Duff, under plenty of pressure.
Only won a couple of games for the year, and definitely not the favourites coming into this match. But one area of their game I'd like to see them improve on, and that's the forward pressure. Don't let the ball out, boys. This is better. Fight for the ball, even if it's a 50-50 contest.
Holding the ball now, Duff. And let's see, umpire just making it nice and clear. The Glenorchy thought it might have gone to them, but it was certainly went to Johnson for the Dogs. Another thing I've noticed today, Duff, is the number of helmets being worn. Might have been a little bit of concussion, maybe in the 14. So there's been quite a few helmets being worn as the siren goes. And what started as very bright and breezy early on with goals kicked, it settled down in that second part, Duff, and we saw Glenorchy with 2-1-13 to Claremont 1-2-8, and Billy Phillips kicked both goals for Glenorchy and Kyden Curtin for the Bulldogs.
Yep, good effort there by Glenorchy, but they'll be right under the pump now going against this breeze. Let's just see how they go, the Magpies. I'd say that Nathan Graham would have stuck a bomb right up the the Claremont Bulldogs at quarter time. He was expecting a little bit better effort from them in that first quarter. Having said that, they're only, 5 points down.
So, go the handball. Well played by Blythe. Blythe picks it back up. He's under enormous pressure by the Dogs. It'll be interesting to see how they play the game with the breeze now, Duff, if they just go a little bit more direct. And coming in, sliding, taking a very, very nice mark was College. College goes towards, he's not mucking around, it was towards the centre-half forward position. A handball comes out, picking up now, well played by Lockley. Loxley gets it into the big full forward there in Graham. Graham can't do it. He's not as good below his knees, but he's good up in the air, Duff. But have a look at his intent, trying to run that ball down. Can't get there quick enough. And the umpire has no option but to ball it up. And, of course, it might be an opportune time. We have a lull here, Duff. What about the Wombat recycling? I know you've used them for about 15 years. They've been around for 20 years, Duff.
Yeah, no, great family business. Wombat and Tracy running it out there. Out in Glenorchy, I think, aren't they there, Hoppy?
Yeah, all around the Hodo.
They get all around.
But the trash packs that they bring around, it's a great way to do, isn't it? Good for the environment.
Very convenient.
Oh, the convenience. I mean, by the time you go to the tip, Duff, you got your trailer, you got your petrol. It's not worth mucking around when you can get the efficiency of your Wombat recycling to come and get all your gear.
Just call Wombat. Give
Wombat a call, Duff. They're the ones to go to, and we thank them very much for their sponsorship of junior football.
And, of course, they've been sponsoring Nathan's team for a long time.
Only about 3 years, haven't they, Duff?
3 years, yep.
Hats off, we say, as a point has been scored to the Dogs. And so now to bring it in is Glenorchy deep in the defensive area. Going out to try and mark that mark was Bly. Good recovery to go onto the tackle. Comes further back to Lockley. They've got a couple of big guys playing for the Dogs. Sometimes the breezy conditions doesn't suit the big blokes, so they've got to do their job, Duff. If they can't mark the ball, bring it down for the small fleet of foot players.
Oh, nice, mark.
And taking a very strong mark coming out is Maxie Jackson playing in front. Don't you love a defender when they come out and stream out like that, Duff?
Oh, when they attack the ball.
Yep.
They're the attacking defender of the modern game. It's here. It's here to stay.
Certainly is. Hassett, your man. Dangerously goes back inboard, Duff, across the centre-half forward, and probably not the greatest kick on that particular occasion as he's found Meredith. Meredith goes in towards the leading Graham. He can't duke that one up, but he was good enough to go over the second effort. Same with Collins. He can't do so. Laycock's down there. Eon gets the clearance, only goes as far as Goodsell. Goodsell can't pick it up, so he just bludgeons that ball forward as far as Dare. Dare goes towards the boundary line where he's tackled ferociously by that Magpie mowing him down, and it will be a ball up. You can see some of the players on the boundary line, Duff, just moving their arms just to keep warm. It's a bit breezy over there.
So it's only about 8 degrees and a very, very strong gale today. Oh, I'm playing in front. The big fella there, Graham.
He's looked likely so far, hasn't he, Duff? Yeah. And that's the first time he's actually duked it up, and he's going to go back and have a shot on goal. Very direct, intent, drop punt. I'll tell you what, it's not a bad looking kick, is it, Duff? Just the minor score. So that's the first time that Jai Graham has hit the scoreboard, and it's moved Claremont on to 1 goal 4-10 to Glenorchy 2 goals 1-13. Dangerously comes back in. I don't like the way they go back across goal here, Duff. They're in plenty of pressure.
No, they've done that a few times so far, the Pies.
It's come undone again as coming over is Blackwell, and Blackwell is not going to have a set shot on goal. I think, again, back to our point that we mooned before, you don't go towards the boundary line, but you go with a bit of width.
As a coach, which side of the ground would you like to see them coming out? I'd say come out this way, bring it down the wing and then back in, and there's a nice goal.
That's a really lovely kick on goal. Excellent work by Blackwell, who has slotted that one through. I'd come on the flack wing, Duff, which is this side. Definitely, it's a very big ground. It's Jim Horn Park. So come out towards the side that the Tony Gibson Tower is on, and that's the defensive side. Wouldn't you think so?
Totally agree. Yep. No, that sounds like an experienced comment there, Andrew. You are the 4-time premiership coach.
Yes, Martin.
Come on, talk yourself up. 2013. When was it before then? 06, 07, 08, was it?
7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9. Right.
7, 8, 9, 13, Duff. But look, it's not all about the Fox. But I do live in that glory.
Well, it's nice to look back on, isn't it? Your time in junior footy.
Yeah, had a ball. If anyone's out there thinking of getting involved in the caper, all I can say is get out of the car, and it is fantastic fun. To be involved with the young boys and girls, as talking of which, the young boys and girls get up and have a shot on goal, and I think has been successful, Duff, and that is Michael Wild, and it certainly wasn't a wild shot, it was a very accurate shot, as we'll have a look here on the Mood Food replay. Picked it up very nicely below his knees. It was Bennett who provided the handball, about 3 or 4 handballs here, back into that area of danger.
Oh, yeah.
You can see here, just keeping it down in front and centre. That's where you need to be when the ball comes in, Duff, and slotted it through for Michael Wild. Excellent play.
Well, it was a great kick under pressure to get it down to the hot spot. And like you said, front and centre, in the right spot, picked it up, and they made it look easy.
Footy isn't a hard game, Duff. Quite simply, if we can get it down to our forwards, they do one of 2 things. You either mark it or bring it down to the front of the pack. If you're a small forward, again, not rocket science. That you know that's the strategy. Hit the pack at pace, be there, pick it up, shot on goal. So, we can see.
You could coach in the AFL, Hoppy.
Well,
I've got no doubt about you. But one day when Tassie's got their own side, the AFL will be looking around. I reckon
do you reckon the CV looks good, Duff?
Keep your phone on. 4-time premiership coach, SDJFL.
Yes.
Leads himself into the AFL. Oh, what a story.
Yeah, I think you got it there, Duff. So now it is the Magpies putting it down. A good decision by umpire Donaghy, who says the head is sacrosanct. We can't go the head. Inadvertent bump, but protection there by big Kyle Connors. And Kyle Connors, he's been manful, held without the ball there. I think the Dogs have got to take the free kick. I think that was Billy Phillips. Bit of frustration there, Duff, that the ball hasn't been down, and it's been 7 minutes gone into this quarter.
Yeah, not the best body language there by Phillips.
Bit of frustration coming.
Yeah, I'd actually put Phillips on the ball myself.
Yes, I don't mind that.
Wasted down there in the forward line.
Gee, that's a great handball. A good offensive handball. It came towards Dare, looking for Graham. Graham can't pick it up. He goes to Soccer, trying to get it back towards the centre of ground. It goes scything off the side of the boot.
Yeah, look at this hop.
And it will be another ball up.
Okay, so Phillips has given away the free kick. We watching?
Yep.
And what's he doing?
Oh, you've got to get your hands up, Duff.
Got to get your hands up.
Any kiddie watching out there, it doesn't matter if you can't play. Let's say if you're the number 18 on the ground, Duff.
Yeah.
You've got to stand on the mark with intent, get the hands up and stop the player playing on, as that ball has gone a big kick out to the side and through one behind. But that's exactly right, Duff. There are a couple of things that are non-negotiables. And that is one. To stand on the mark, arms out, and stop the other player from running on.
And don't drop your head.
Oh, no. Body language is important, Duff.
Yes.
You know that. Laycock goes further afield out towards Hassett. Running in at the last minute was Blythe, but he can't pick that one up. And I tell you what, there's a little stall just down below us on the Tony Gibson stand and tower. And that place, look at them down there, Duff. They're doing a roaring trade selling beanies.
Oh, yeah.
They'll do very nicely, all the different colours.
She's cold out here today, and this breeze is just popping up again. We've got another free kick. Is it to Claremont? I didn't really see what that was for, Andrew.
Tell you what, Duff, if the wind stays like this, we might have to get down from the Tony Gibson tower.
What happened there? Did you see that? No.
Yeah, shepherding, Duff.
Shepherding, right.
So now...
Oh, he's in range here.
Oh, look at the range. Just get the ball up and the wind will do its stuff. And it's gone towards the goal. It didn't come back. Just a little bit more elevation needed on that one to get the full value for the wind. So it is Claremont now. What have they got, Duff? 3 goals, 6. Just a little bit inaccurate. They're blazing away from a long way out and haven't got full value for their forward thrust. And Glenorchy, who looked very promising in the first quarter, but it is tough. Good defensive work, just smashing it down. Claremont now just got to try and get it towards the centre area as Dare picks it up. Dare screws around. I think he looks quite happy with himself there, Duff. And that's why. I think he's put... Oh, he's just going to check now. I'm just checking the video replay, he said. What did you think of that one? I thought it was a goal. Yep. What do you think it is? Let's have a look.
One behind.
Been corrected, has he, Duff? One behind.
Great umpiring there by the field umpire, because it's not easy for these volunteers, you know, in the goals. All happens very quickly, and probably went just over the post there, and rightly so, one behind.
Gee, Deadeye Dick from umpire in charge there, Duff, to pick that one up as the Bulldogs just blazing away. And that's the only criticism I'd say, Duff. They've just got to do it. You've got to take advantage of this breeze and just take your time. Get it to the person in the best position instead of just sort of blazing away. That's always the temptation, isn't it, when you've got a big breeze behind your back?
Yeah. Now, this is the difficult one for Glenorchy. Do they go long, or do they try and find a teammate? I like this, trying to find a teammate. It's not always coming off, but this is the way you need to persevere and practice your junior footy.
They've got to get the old footy in the hand, Stuff, and they've got to run the ball. Just bounce it, and that's just strategically what they need to do. Run it in numbers, so they've got to run out with 3 and 4, try and bounce and handball and keep it on the defensive side. When they get it past the centre of the ground, that's when they decide to take the blinkers off and come back into the corridor, but not before. So Hassett, he decides to go down that line, and he goes as far as Lockley. He's ably assisted by his teammate there in Goodsell, who pushes that ball forward. Hassett comes out, can't take the mark, but he soccers it off the ground. And he goes as far as Blackwell, who we know has been a goal scorer. Couldn't quite duke that one up under the ball was Curtin. It's close to the boundary line. I think Hassett's going to try and bring it over. He's pulled it in, and the umpire says it wasn't going to go anywhere, so we're going to ball it up, Duff. Just looking for the ruckman. Nice tap out there, go towards the safety of the boundary line, and Croswell will see that one over.
Just trying to get something happening here, aren't they, Glenorchy? They're really battling with this breeze in the second quarter. They're only 13 points down, but they've gone very quiet on the scoreboard. Haven't scored in the second term here, Hoppy.
Well, the good thing for them is, Duff, that the Dogs have been a little bit inaccurate. So they could have blown them out of the water, but they haven't done so. So that would certainly give them a bit of confidence, and Coach Brennan will probably amplify that fact at half-time when he gets his charges in front of him. So it's a tap that again comes back in towards inboard into the ground. Dogs decide to screw that one around towards the goal. I think that one's quite accurate, Duff. It certainly is. That was a really nice shot on goal, and took a little bit of time on that one, Duff, was to just look over the left shoulder. It was a good kick by Jones. As we'll see him again, Jones picks the ball up cleanly, had a good glance and says, I reckon I can kick that one, screwed it around, and a very, very accurate kick on goal. Well done, Riley Jones. As we saw there on the Mood Food replay, and we just checked the JMC scoreboard, Duff. It is, what have we got there? 4-8-32 to Glenorchy 2-1-13. And all single goal kickers, Blackwell, Jones, Curtin and Wild. And for the Maggies, it is Phillips with a couple who is still stranded there at centre half forward. Handball back over. I don't mind that move, Duff. I'd probably get him on the ball as well.
Yeah.
Barging where their throw is Atkin. Atkin goes back in to try and keep it in again. Down on all fours. It's getting close towards half-time. And I think they'll enjoy that, Glenorchy. Just have a bit of a spell, rethink on how they're going. And here is our goal kicker from a few minutes ago, Jones. Look at this. He's just gained valuable meat, and he's still going, Duff. Hasn't stopped running, and he could be on the end of it again. Here he goes again, Jones. But it intercepted this one is Graham. Graham screws that ball over, and he has put that one through for another great goal. Two very good snaps in the last minute, Duff.
Just great play, wasn't it, by Jones? Jones goal all the way here, Hoppy. Look at that, just kept it in front of him. He's like a machine, isn't he, coming through? Out of my way.
It was terrific work by Jones. Never gave up, and I think any kiddie watching that could really learn from keeping the ball going forward. Keep the momentum going toward your goal. Again, not rocket science stuff, but that's what you want. Get it towards your goal, metre by metre. So all of a sudden, as I said a few minutes ago, Duff, that the Bulldogs hadn't blown them out of the water, but with the two last shots being accurate and getting 2 goals, that's really made a difference to the scoreboard.
Yeah, they'd be a bit disappointed here, Glenorchy. They've worked pretty hard in the second quarter for not a lot of result, and it's 25 points down. Still only 4 goals going into half-time.
Okay, so the Dogs, they go very direct, and why wouldn't you when you've got the last 2 kicks have been goals? But there is the siren for half-time here at Jim Horn Park. It is the Bulldogs 5-8-38 to Glenorchy 2-1-13 at half-time. So we'll take a break, Duff, and we're back with the third quarter in just a few moments.
Better come over and see if you're all right.
So welcome back to the Jim Horn Oval, and it's been very entertaining with the Dogs getting away from the Magpies late in that second quarter with a couple of accurate kicks. Lovely snaps over by Jones and Graham. And Duff, you went down and had a listen to the coaches. What do you got to report?
Well, I went into the Glenorchy rooms, and Grant Brennan was a bit disappointed in the second half of that second quarter. He said, boys, we were good with our manning up and our tenacity on the ball, as there's a nice kick on goal.
Oh, there he is, the goal kicker. Just get back to that. That's Billy Phillips. He's got something about him. He's got a swagger. Like you said, the body language in that second part, I have to say, wasn't elite. But that was from the top shelf. Take a bow, Billy. Let's have a look at that one on the Mood Food replay, Duff. As you can see it coming out, Billy picks it up with clean hands. Look at the accurate kick, Duff. He knew where the wind was going to blow it, and he just went inside the goalpost and doesn't even smile, Duff, as if it's just a regular run-of-the-mill.
He has got class written all over him, that boy. I'm really impressed with him. He was a little bit quiet in that second term like some of his teammates, but there he is again, and great coaching here by Coach Brennan to get him on the ball.
Yeah, sorry, Duff, we interrupted, so back to Coach Brennan.
Oh yeah, well, he was just saying, look, you know, let's keep it up for the full 15 minutes of a quarter. You can't drop your head. We need to man up. We need to go long out of the back line.
Yep, and then I noticed en route to the Bulldogs camp, you did slip in and have something to eat, as just coming over the back, one against the play, and Jai Graham down the bottom end has scored a goal, and that's great reply there, Duff. What's happened here? Has there been a whistle? No, it's all clear. She's gone over, and for the first time, goals have been scored down the northern end, Duff, and that was really good against the play. Just had the numbers, forcing the ball forward and drifted out the back of the pack. There was Jai Graham and had put that one through. Yeah, sorry, I saw you with a couple of sabs in your hand, and then you went in to the Bulldogs room, and what was to report there?
Oh, very happy, Nathan Graham. It's a great effort there in the second quarter. He said, look, we're 4 goals up, but we've got to bury them now. Let's make sure we don't, let them get back into this match. At least go goal for goal, which they've started doing already in this third quarter. So, no, it was all smiles in the Bulldogs' rooms.
And they'd be really, really happy with the way they got that ball out of the centre. That was Dare who picked it up, and well, they got another opportunity. There is our full forward. Jai Graham has been the focal point, the go-to man, and he's got a couple of goals already. Just trying to clear it, but it's all Dogs there. So Blackwell drives it back in towards that said full forward who can't bring it down. He tries to get it out. Good tackling. Has he been held too long? No, it's holding the ball. And I think that's fair enough, Duff. And a nice tackle by Laycock.
Now, this is where they've been letting themselves down. It's come off this time, and Billy Phillips has got the ball, but just coming out of defence. And nice play, of course. Phillips always uses the ball very well.
Very good use of the ball, and now they decide to go run with. And why not? You got that over the breeze. It goes over the back. And coming in, streaming, beautiful pickup by the Dogs. It's gone off the side of the boat, but a great attempt to kick on the wrong side, Duff.
Yeah, don't mind that.
Don't mind that any. That is as good a pickup as you want to see at pace. Goes onto the left side, and don't worry about that, young fella. You tried your best, and it's going to be a ball up, Duff. Might have been touched off the boot.
I don't know if it was. Umpire said...
Oh, the ball was already out.
Was it?
When he kicked it.
You think so?
That's what happened. Umpire Donaghy's right on the job there, Duff. He saw that he just kicked it before, so it was going to be a ball up.
Well, it's very difficult for the umpire. He was a long way away from the play. The ball came down the ground very quickly. And, of course, there's no boundary umpires here, but it's something we'll do something about that in the future. Don't you worry, Hoppy, as Claremont trying to just go back forward here.
So over the ball then as Jackson just took his eyes off it at that particular point when he tried to pick it up. So Dare comes in. Dare gets the big kick forward. Nice. Under a bit of pressure there, back to Nichols. Nichols goes in towards Curtin. Curtin now gets it out wide. Shimming one. Shimming around a second is Robinson. Goes down towards the leading forward. And coming out and marking it is Graham. I like the way he created the space in front of the ball then, Duff. Did you see how he lured the backman back deep? And you got to be aware of that one.
Big Graham.
Oh, Graham comes in and he kicked another goal against the breeze. This is danger signs for no doubt about that one, Duff. This is the end that Glenorchy would want to maximise the breeze, and against the play, the Dogs have kicked a couple.
Just a little bit of spectating here, getting themselves second to the ball here in the Magpies. And when they do that, and the pressure's off the Bulldogs have been taking full advantage, and there's the goal to Graham. He's kicked a couple now, Andrew.
Yeah, he's kicked 3. So I think when the Magpie defenders look at that, Duff, they'll see that you've got to start. The starting position's got to be arm across the body. No doubt about that. It's the old-fashioned, just put your arm out so you can feel where the offensive player is, and don't let them get a metre. Once you get a metre, we can see what happened then as Graham came out, and because the ball is always going to drop short, and Graham was in the right spot at the right time. So the Dogs, let's see how their defenders go well as Connor's in the front for Glenorchy. He doesn't quite get down and bend and pick it up, so Dare does. Dare driving it forward again. Oh. Couldn't quite duke that one up. Good defensive pressure there by Glenorchy through the agency of Jackson. Jackson hasn't done a bad job. He goes back in to try and get it again. Don't go back inboard, son. Try and keep it out towards the defensive area. Bulldogs doing a good job just pushing that ball forward at all costs. Laycock's down there. Laycock picks it up. Goes the don't argue. He gets the kick. It's going close to the boundary line. Not sure if it's gone out on the full or not, Duff. I don't think so.
Look at this again. Just pressure. Great forward pressure there by the Claremont Bulldogs. And they're really under the pump now. The Magpies, you feel, Hoppy?
Yeah, they certainly are.
31 points.
Good effort there by the Dogs. Goes the big punch. Roved nicely by Blythe. He goes the bounce and just lost the handle on that one, but look at the pace he's showing.
Yeah, he's got a bit of X factor about himself, young Blythe, but he's just missed out there, but it was good play, and Lockley's going to clear the ball here for the Doggies.
That was terrific play by Lockley, getting it on towards Brown. Brown didn't, by the time the old brain got the signal down to the hands there, it didn't compute, and it was being able to be knocked away. And now an opportunity comes towards Phillips. And have a look at the players around him. Phillips goes back, but he's run out of space. and the umpire will throw that one up. We are here at Jim Horn Park, nearly 8 minutes gone in the third quarter. It is Glenorchy Bulldogs v the Glenorchy Magpies in what's been in pretty tough conditions, but highly skilled, Duff.
Hasn't been a bad match at all. I think Claremont have probably got a few more on the bench. It's making it a little bit difficult for the Magpies, and a few bigger bodies out there as well, especially in some of those key positions like Big Jai Graham down at full forward and this big fella coming out of the half-back line. Yeah,
we've liked it by quite a few players, as that was Thompson who went down there, one of the fleet of foot players, one of the runners. He tries to pick it up, goes back. Oh, unfortunately, he tripped over his own man in Nichols. That was just a friendly fire and a bit of an accident, as the Magpies, they're under enormous pressure down back, aren't they, Duff? They haven't got their eyes up when they're coming out of the defensive area. They're just trying to clear it at all costs. They certainly under enormous pressure. The Dogs are mounting another attack, as the Magpies, you can see there, just pushing the ball forward, not really looking.
Yeah, just a kick of panic really, wasn't it?
Yep. So Jones now, he's getting close to the ball. We know this man can run very, very hard, and he bullocks his way forward, pushes that man out of the way, and it's seen across the line.
So this is really just a throw it on the boot when he probably didn't need to. Hoppy could have taken just about to bounce there, and like you said, just look up and try and find a teammate. Sometimes teams can do that. They're seduced by the breeze, aren't they? They sort of perceive that if they get the ball up and long quickly, anything will happen. So it's pretty easy to defend that, actually, as Glenorchy come out. That's Jones. Jones doesn't get it across because there's too many Bulldogs there. And have a look at them. They've got the numbers here, Duff, as that is Aitken. Aitken gets across to Dare. Excuse me. Dare now. This is a really lovely passage of play by the Bulldogs. Couldn't get the ball, so go back in for the Shepherd, just slamming on the boot, trying to gain some valuable meterage towards Curtin. Curtin bends down now, and going back in to get the ball is the Magpies. They're wrestling with each other and being pinned for holding the ball, Duff. Oh, no, Mr. Umpire, what's happened here? Well, he said he dragged it in, but how is he supposed to get it out, Andrew? Well, as long as there's some consistency on that, I don't mind. But I have to be blunt that it's been not quite as consistent, Duff. Sometimes it's been pulled in, it's been a ball up. Other times it hasn't. So I'll be interested to see what happens when someone does it the next time the ball is on the ground. I've liked the game of this boy, Laycock. Right down there at full back. He's a very steady player. He's kicked to a one-on-one. But he goes all right, Duff, doesn't he? This fella here is very small. They've pulled it in now. What's happened? I think he's been deemed to be held without the ball, Duff. And so the very, very pacey Blythe has to go back behind the... He loves to take the game on, doesn't he, Duff? He's got a little bit of X factor about himself, this boy. He's got a bit of attitude, and I like it. So like we just sort of said there, he drives it long, and the Dogs are awake up to that. I think they're playing an extra behind the ball, Duff, which is very clever by Coach Graham. So they can run that ball against the breeze. And then it does, conversely, the other thing creates a little bit more space on the forward line. So it comes out towards Blackwell. Blackwell driving it long towards that half-forward flank. Again, was that dragged in or not? But robbing it was Blythe. Blythe now, he'll use his pace. Goes that long, raking kick, screws it back around towards Phillips, sorry. And Phillips takes a nice mark. Billy drives it long anywhere near those goals, Duff. He'll put it up and have a crack at it, won't he? He's been proven very accurate. He's already kicked 3 goals today from 3 shots at goal, and Dare has steadied and taken a mark. Dare's been very, very good in the middle of the ground. That's Flack. Flack goes further out wide. They're using every square centimetre of the Jim Horn Park here, Duff, to get an advantage. And when they're going against the breeze, they're really running the ball well in this quarter. So strategically, I think they've worked it out, the Dogs now, Duff, how to play against the breeze. No, been doing a great job against the breeze here. What is it? 1 goal apiece, I think, in this quarter. 2 goals to the Dogs so far. 2 goals to the Dogs, sorry. Yep. No, they'd be very happy with that. And there is Blythe, who's really racking up the positions across the half-back flank. Jones drops that one. Here is Phillips. He goes the bounce and didn't quite get the handle on that one.
which allows the dogs to steady.
Yeah, big good soil there. Sorry, chopping you off, but I've been impressed with his game. But it's really the half-back line of the Bulldogs that are just right on top here.
Yeah, they certainly are, and Dare in the middle is racking up possessions as well. Duff is leading out now was Graham. This particular time he couldn't bring it in. He goes back in, and that's a great tackle, really applying the pressure. And this is where we need some of those little fellas fleet of foot to get underneath the ball. They're trying to force the issue now, are the Dogs. As soon as they get it close to those goals, they flare the nostrils and they want to get hold of it. But in an attempt to bring it back towards the 10-metre square, it's gone off the side of the boot and out on the full. So it'll be a free kick here to the Magpies as they're trying to work their way back into this match, Duff.
I was just going to say, what I'd like to see the Magpies do a little bit more of, and that is gut running. And that was a great play there by young Jones for Glenorchy, just to push up hard and present. They need to do a bit more of that, Andrew, because it's been a little bit too easy for the Claremont Bulldogs. And look at this goal.
Lockley, that was terrific. He went to look like he was going to go on the left foot there, Duff, and then he shimmied back inside and did a very, very nice snap. And I think we should have another look at that on the Mood Food replay. As we can see, the ball was going to come in here by Blackwell. And that's the area right there, Duff. As a defender, you don't like the ball hovering around there. And it was on the ground, and he snapped it from about 25 out and put it through. So excellent work by Cooper Lockley there, Duff. And that's his first goal.
Great goal. There's been some ripper goals in this game. And 3 against the breeze for the Claremont Bulldogs in this quarter.
So, ball back in the middle, just about 3/4 time. End over end towards Lockley. Defenders just knocking that one out. Connors is there. Blythe again. Blythe's had a mountain of the ball.
He's had really a lot of the ball in a great quarter for the Magpies.
He stands out, doesn't he, Duff?
Well,
he's slight, fast and red boots.
He's one of the few boys for the Magpies who can really gut run for the full 80 minutes of the game.
Yeah, he's taking the game on, which we want to see.
Gut run, Hoppy. You know what that is? When you haven't got the ball on the defensive side, just go hard. Try and get the ball back and not spectate, because there's just a few too many spectators out there for the Magpies for mine.
Yeah, it's an important thing, Duff, is what you do without the ball in football. I mean, we know we look at the stats of how many times you get it, but it's crucial that when you don't have the ball, and here comes a little bit of rain now, Duff.
Even this play coming up here, you know, they're reactive, Glenorchy, at the moment. They're sort of just, I mean, they're trying to get there, but yeah, just all a bit too late.
So, ball was kicked in there by Lockley. Just get a few slippery conditions. We can see the rain is coming down toward the Cadbury end, and that might keep the breeze away a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see, but it is 3/4 time here now, and Claremont against the breeze have extended their lead, and there you can see that very clever young man there, Duff, is nicely rugged up. There's no doubt about that. So 3/4 time, a very, very handy lead to the Bulldogs, Duff.
I think they're looking pretty comfortable as they go into 3/4 time there. Nathan Graham would be very happy with their charges, or his charges. 3-1 in the 3rd quarter. It's just about game over, I think, Andrew.
Yeah, probably it's going to be tough from Glenorchy, so I think Coach Brennan will try and amplify the fact he needs a big effort. He really does need a big effort here, not to drop away and to fight it out to the end. That's what we want to see. So I think, as you can see in the midfield area is Jordan Blythe. I think Blythe across half back is going to be crucial for them, Duff, the way he gets the ball. But he doesn't need to bomb it, that first option.
Yep.
I'd like to see him take a bounce and take them on.
Yep.
And then if they know they're going to do that, someone run with him and make sure you play in front if you're on the forward line. That's going to be crucial too, because the ball will drop. So now the Dogs, and gee whiz, he's been so influential here, has Lockie Dare. Dare goes for. It's going to be harder to mark the onion now, Duff, so even more crucial is the players front and centre, and maybe a little bit slippery ball. A couple might go over the back as well. So it's going to be interesting to see the setup of the team now structurally. The other thing I'd like to see from the Bulldogs is the forward pockets play really up high, so I'd be leaving young Graham out one-on-one, and then when the ball's kicked from the wing position, that's when the high forwards start to run toward the front of the pack. Don't crowd the forward line. Keep it open. Really got to keep it open, Duff. Jones, who we know can kick a goal, Gee whiz, that one went onto the big barrel chest and couldn't quite bring it in. That was excellent work by Laycock down back as the ball is screwed over the top, and that one's gone through, Duff. I think that's Lockie Dare who has screwed that one over his shoulder and has made a goal from absolutely nothing. Let's have another crack at that one, Duff. We'll go to the mood food replay.
Well, it was all a little bit too easy, wasn't it? The defenders weren't really on their man. They had two over the back here.
You could see that Jones got the big, long kick in. And again, that's your forward pressure there. That was nice play by Jai Graham that forced the issue. The ball came out and spilled to Lockie Dare, who moved down from the midfield and was there to pick up the scraps and get the goal. Curtin again, long raking kick, and you can see that ball skidding on now, Duff. It's only going to get worse from here. So we can hear the rain on top of the roof here on the Tony Gibson Tower. It's just getting that ever increasingly tricky conditions to play footy in, Duff.
Yeah, it's not quite icy rain, but I tell you what, it's only about 7 or 8 degrees out here. It's very, very cool. And yeah, no, rain and wind, not great ingredients for a great game.
Nice mark by Jones. Jones goes the drop punt out towards the wing position. This is when it tests the old digits, doesn't it, Duff? The extremities, those little fingers get a little bit too cool. And they sort of, if it gets the wrong part of the ball, they can snap off like a carrot.
Oh, a lot of space here of the Bulldogs now. Little nudge in the back. Umpire didn't worry about that one, says play on.
Yes, comes out towards Laycock. Laycock, the consummate defender, goes towards the wide position. And they're still probably playing that attacking wing, Duff, which is probably a little bit dangerous because you can easily have a shot from there. Well, that was unfortunate that Kyden Curtin got in the front, but umpire Donaghy said, I think you pushed before acceptances, and the free kick went to the defender. Ball back in towards the middle. That was Lockley. Lockley gets it out to now on a long kick. Under plenty of pressure here. Goes towards the safety of the boundary line, and it will come back in. Now, tell me about those helmet stuff. I know you used to wear one. Well, what are they sort of made of, and how is the protection there?
Oh, it's rubber helmet these days. I used to wear the bike helmet.
Yep.
Oh, gee, that's a bit easy, isn't it?
Dear, oh dear. We'll have a look at that one. That was Dare who popped that one through from a goal. It was in the right spot, the right time. Let's have a crack at that one on the Mood Food replay. He actually tapped it to his own advantage. Very clever play, actually, Duff, wasn't it, when you had a look at that? Lockie Dare. He just sort of tapped it up with a bit of height. He put the afterburners on, ran down, picked it up and slotted it through for a goal. And they are doing a fantastic job now with the Dogs, Duff. Have a look at this. Who'd be a coach standing out there in the rain, Duff?
Well, who'd be a coach without a coat on? Somebody help the man.
Managers, they're all there, Duff. But great to see all the volunteers.
Just getting back to that last goal, that's very disappointing for Glenorchy, isn't it, there? Because there was just nobody on the defensive side. So at a ball up, you've got to look around and go, OK, you know, where's the danger area? And even up on the numbers around the set play there. And just that's probably the easiest goal I think I've seen all year.
Certainly was. But very clever play. Coming in really hard. That was good play by the Dogs as they get it out towards Lockley. Some of their prime movers are really getting a wriggle on now. The whistle has gone. I'm not sure what's happened here, Duff. Umpire Donaghy has seen an infringement, and I think it's going to go to Laycock. The helmeted Laycock. Just taking his time, just waiting on the onion to come back here, Duff. It's almost gone down to Cadbury's. I think they've gone and got the old dairy milk on the way. And the old Jimmy Horn Park is just getting a lot slipperier, Duff. They're still not happy that it hasn't gone behind. I'm interested on the numbers here, Duff. Number 89. Who is your favourite 89 when you used to watch footy?
There was a guy called Ron Gregg who used to play with Cambridge.
Wasn't he tough?
Yeah, played out in Cambridge.
Yeah, big scar under his right eye.
Oh, yeah.
He got that in the bar brawl.
And he had 3 fingers on the right hand.
Yep, that's him. But wasn't he good the way he palmed it down with those fingers, Duff?
Oh, gee.
Yep. Anyway, that's Lockie Dare. Dare having another shot. He's kicked that from downtown, but just as he's gone for that extra distance, Duff, it's gone out to the other side and through for the minor score. So they're certainly under the pump, are the Maggies, as they go straight down the high little. Can't pick it up now. Very tough conditions. Jones goes in. tries to get the toop out of the eyes. Had a bit of a shot on goal, Duff. And he slotted that one through for 4 points. Let's have another crack at that one on the Mood Food replay, Duff.
Gee, it's a bit of a training run right now, isn't it?
Yeah, the spirit seems to be sucked out of the Magpies, Duff. We can see here, go back in, just drop that one. In and under, just leisurely strolls in. He says, I'll have a crack at that, thanks very much. The big barrel-chested Kyden Curtin headed for home, Duff, and put that one through at the Mona end.
As we come back to our sponsor screen, thanks to Wombats Recycling. There's his number, 0408 563 840. Give Wombat a call.
If you've got a bit of recycling to do, Duff, Wombat's your man. The only thing with you, Duff, you can't keep on recycling your girlfriends like that and expect Wombat to come up with another one. It's only the rubbish the Wombat wants, Duff. But if you've got that, Wombat will look after it. It is Blythe down there doing a fantastic job. As
well, the sting's gone out of the mats, ladies and gentlemen, so we're providing a bit of comedy here for you. But we just want to see Glenorchy finish off this game now. We've got about 7.5 minutes, halfway through the last quarter, and they're sort of like just turning the ball over here, and it's all become a little bit pedestrian for them.
What about that one, Duff? Asher Aitken has stormed through there. And I'll tell you what, if he had a head of steam up too, I wouldn't be too keen to get in his way. He was transfixed on the ball, went through and put it through for a very, very nice goal, Duff, as we see here on the Mood Food replay. Look out, I'm coming through, he says, and has put that one through. Asher Aitken, take a bow. Well done, son. And as he just trots back to the half-back flank, Duff. He had no right to get that ball in, and that's where your half-forward flank for Glenorchy just fell away a little bit, Duff. Didn't quite man up.
No, we've seen that a few times in this game, and this last quarter, they're just doing it too easily. Not enough hard running by the Glenorchy Magpies, and not enough players prepared to get to the contest.
All right, another screw over the shoulder has gone out of bounds. A little bit of sun just coming out here. I won't say the sun's going to be that particularly balmy. But it's that wind has settled down a bit up in the tower up here in Tony Gibson Tower. So we look out on the Derwent, Duff, and it's got a few whiteheads. Look at that choppy. Look at that guy in the Sabo. He's really trying to keep it upright, isn't he?
Oh, you wouldn't go out there today.
Yeah, well,
that's dangerous.
It is dangerous. But there is a flotilla of yachts out on the Derwent, and what a lovely spot we live out here in Hobart, Duff. We're very, very lucky. As umpire Donaghy has called for that ball, it's nearly 9 minutes gone, so about 5 minutes left. Bit of pride on the line for the Magpies, Duff.
Yeah, well, they were good in patches in this game. They
very
started
good.
Off very well. Phillips was up and about, kicked a wonderful goal in that third quarter.
Creative, isn't he?
Very creative, and I think young Blythe has also been very good.
Certainly has. The big Grundy look-alike.
Yep,
Connors.
And big Kyle Connors in the ruck has battled away manfully. It's been a hard day at the office for him because there's just so many big units out on display today for the Claremont Bulldogs.
Yeah, he's been a bit on his Pat Malone, hasn't he, Duff? He's tried hard. Talking of that man we spoke of just a few minutes ago, there is Jordan Blythe, goes in towards Jones. Jones going back. He's on the bad toop too, Duff. He's got that undercut working with the big flip-over toop that flicks it back. Now they're going back, but that's really keeping their concentration now, the Dogs down back, Duff, as Goodsill takes a nice mark, and I think 50 metres, they've encroached. Let's have another look at that. I think 2 men on the... Oh, yes, he snuck over, Duff. Look at that.
Young Croswell there just went to sleep there on the mark. So all falling apart here for the Magpies at the moment.
Well, they'll keep their concentration. This is the best thing that Coach Brennan needs to really work on, Duff. Just send the runner out and try and settle them down. Says, come on, guys, we can do this.
And look at this, the lack of manning up. It's making Claremont probably look a little bit better than what they really are. We know they're a good side, but, gee, one of the basics in football was man up and run hard.
They're running harder, Duff, aren't they?
They are.
They're running the game out. Well, they know it's a home ground advantage here at Jim Horn Park, and they know every square centimetre of it as Dare kicks that ball in. That's probably not his better effort. I think he was actually having a, a shot there. Centre the ball. I'd get it into the big leading Graham, and if he doesn't get it, your Jones or your Blackwell or your Curtains will get underneath it, Duff.
Oh, I've pressed the wrong button there, Andrew.
Oh, is that coming up, Duff, in Campbelltown, the series?
That was a few weeks ago. Yeah, lots going on here at Duff TV with the technology.
Yeah, it is. Look, we've got 2 games on the screen going all at once. That's the replays.
Sorry about that.
And here's Ronnie Barassi, number 31 for the Magpies. Goes in. Well, that's a dangerous kick. 1 on 5. And, of course, the numbers do have it as Curtin picks it up. Curtin goes forward. The lead came out by Graham, but he can't take the mark as we're coming up towards the 12-minute mark of the last quarter, and what has been a very good performance here by the Dogs. They were challenged by the Magpies, but they just haven't kept the pressure on for the full game, have they, Duff? And Jai Graham now is going to be lining up for his 4th goal as he's just telling Kyden Curtin, he says, listen, son, you've only got 2, I've got 3, I'm just going to try and put it through from a 4th, and he does so as easy as you like. I like the kick there, Duff. Nice square shoulders as he came in towards the goal. Kept it simple, low, and another goal to the Dogs. As we see here on the Mood Food replay. Look at that, Duff. Just so much space. So much space to have for a big full forward on his own. But they'll learn from that, Duff.
They will. He's had a good game up there, hasn't he, the big fella? Big Graham. I like him at full forward, Hoppy.
Yeah, 4 bags there, full. No doubt about that. The umpire, what's happening here, Duff? There's something behind play. The umpire, Donaghy's going to award one. What's going on, Duff? Extra men inside the square, maybe?
Yeah, it may have been the old 666, was it?
Yes, as the ball comes down. Oh, nearly put that one. That's just that wet ball. Bumped over, and Curtin can't pick it up. He's good enough to go back in and try and get it. He tries to throw it on the boot, and he's being pinged for holding the ball.
Yeah, young Berwin there.
Nice play by him. So it's only a minute or so to go as the ball comes out. That was Hassett at the back of the pack, and standing his ground, taking a very strong mark, is Nichols. Nichols leans back, and as what happens sometimes, Duff, when you do lean back on the ball, it goes off the side of the boot and out of bounds. It's been a good game here for the Dogs. They'll get a lot of confidence going forward, Duff, from here, I would have thought.
Yeah, I think they're sitting just inside the 5.
Yep. So
they really needed this win, and this will be a good percentage builder for them as well.
Blythe picks it up, and the siren's gone here at Jim Horn Park. And what has been a pretty breezy afternoon, but a convincing victory here to the Wombat Dogs, Duff. And we just have a quick glance down there. Jai Graham has kicked 4. Dare's kicked a couple. Blackwell a single. Jones, Curtin 2. Aitken, Wild. And for the Magpies, Duff, their 3 goals coming from the very creative Billy Phillips.
Well, thank you very much, Andrew, for a great game.
It's been terrific in relation to bring you the game here, isn't it? Because of the blustery conditions. We thank our very dear friends, Jackson Motorcar Company.
At this age group,
of course, Cripps the Master Baker, Mood Food, and our very, very dear friends, Wombat Recycling. We hope you've enjoyed the game coming here from Jim Horn Park. That's all from Duff TV till we see you next time through. Stay well, stay safe, and a very good afternoon to you.
Andrew, just get the ball forward with this breeze. Phillips got on the end of it. Great goal.
Beautiful kicking style, Duff. Really now, going back in, that's a really strong mark taken by Curtin. Curtin goes back towards the goal and put that one through. Gee whiz, what a high calibre of game, Duff. Close as it might be touched just on the line. Oh. And certainly Phillips knows where those goals are. He's a dead-eye Dick Duff.
Tell you what, look at this.
He's kicked that from 70 metres. Rolling. Look at the last bounce. Up she goes and touched. Like to see him bend down and pick the onion up.
Young Hassett again.
It is Hassett who really provided, I like the way he put a block on in those early stages. Just bend down and pick that ball up. The umpire says it's not going to come out, although it just came through. Dogs, will be interesting to see how they play the game with the breeze now, Duff, if they just go a little bit more direct and coming in, sliding, taking a very, very nice mark was college, of which the young boys and girls get up and have a shot on goal, and I think has been successful, Duff, and that is Michael Wild, and it certainly wasn't a wild shot, it was a very accurate shot, as we'll have a look here on the Mood Food replay. Left shoulder, it was a good kick by Jones, as we'll see him again. Jones picks the ball up cleanly, had a good glance and says, I reckon I can kick that one, screwed it around, and a very, very accurate kick on goal. Well done, Riley Jones. It was terrific work by Jones. Never gave up, and I think any kiddie watching that could really learn from keeping the ball going forward. Keep the momentum going toward your goal. Again, not rocket science stuff, but that's what you want. Get it to. Did slip in and have something to eat, as just coming over the back, one against the play, and Jai Graham down the bottom end has scored a goal, and that's great reply there, Duff. What's happened here? Has there been a whistle?
Nice.
Under a bit of pressure there, back to Nichols. Nichols goes in towards Curtin. Curtin now gets it out wide, shimmying one. Shimmying around a second is Robinson. Goes down towards the leading forward, and coming out and marking it is Graham. You've got to be aware of that one.
Big Graham.
Oh, Graham comes in and he kicked another goal against the breeze. This is danger signs, for no doubt about that one, Duff. As we can see, the ball was going to come in here by Blackwell. And that's the area right there, Duff. As a defender, you don't like the ball hovering around there. And it was on the ground, and he snapped it from about 25 out and put it through. So long kick in. And again, that's your forward pressure there. That was nice play by Jai Graham that forced the issue. The ball came out and spilled to Lockie Dare, who moved down from the midfield and was there to pick up the scraps and get the goal. We'll have a look at that one. That was Dare who popped that one through from a goal. It was in the right spot, the right time. Let's have a crack at that one on the Mood Food replay. He actually tapped it to his own advantage. Very clever play, actually, Duff, wasn't it, when you had a look at that, Lockie Dare. Jones goes in, tries to get the toop out of the eyes. Had a bit of a shot on goal, Duff. And he slotted that one through for full points. Wombat's your man. The only thing with you, Duff, you can't keep on recycling your girlfriends like that and expect Wombat to come up with another one. It's only the rubbish the Wombat wants, Duff. To get in his way, he was transfixed on the ball, went through and put it through for a very, very nice goal, Duff, as we see here on the Mood Food replay. Look out, I'm coming through, he says, and has put that one through. Blythe picks it up, and the siren's gone here at Jim Horn Park. And what has been a pretty breezy afternoon, but a convincing victory here to the Wombat Dogs, Duff. And we just have a quick glance down there. Jai Graham has kicked 4. Dare's kicked a couple. Blackwell a single. Jones, Curtin 2. Aitken, Wild. And for the Magpies, Duff, their 3 goals coming from the very creative Billy Phillips.